Imagine, on a cold night, when everyone is safe inside warm homes, a tiny stray dog pushes through the snow just to save a life. This is that story. The winter wind pierced the quiet rural town. The streets lay empty, covered in snow. Inside the small police station, officers sat in silence. The only sound was the low hum of the heater. Suddenly, the glass door burst open. A tiny puppy stumbled inside. His fur was golden brown, frozen with snow. His paws raw from the icy pavement. His ribs showed beneath his thin frame, proof that he was a stray. The officers froze, shocked at the sight. The puppy barked sharply, his little body trembling. Then, astonishingly, he stood on his hind legs, pressed his front paws together, in a desperate posture of prayer. His dark eyes carried a plea no one could ignore. Some officers chuckled nervously, but one man, a tall officer in his 30s, broad-shouldered, wearing a Navy uniform, felt a sudden jolt of unease inside. He crouched down, his boots creaking against the floor. The puppy repeated the strange gesture, whining softly, then suddenly darted toward the door and looked back, as if saying, "Follow me." The officer's instincts flared. "He's trying to tell us something," he said firmly. Throwing on his winter coat, he motioned for two colleagues to follow. The golden-brown puppy, who they would later name Lucky, dashed ahead, barking, making sure the officers stayed behind him. He ran like a little prince through the snow. Their breaths rose in white clouds into the frozen air. Minutes later, Lucky suddenly veered toward the edge of town, to a ravine. There, half buried in snow, lay an old man. His clothes were thin, his skin pale, his body barely moving. He had collapsed from the cold, death only moments away. Lucky bolted to his side, pressing his tiny body against the old man's chest to give warmth. Then once more, he stood on two legs, pressed his paws together, then collapsed into the old man's embrace. The officer stood silently at the door, his face softened, eyes glistening. He knew he had witnessed something extraordinary. A stray, with no home and no master, had chosen compassion and saved a life. The news spread quickly. People began calling Lucky a hero. But he wanted nothing, only for the old man to live. Sometimes the smallest creatures carry the greatest courage, reminding us that even those with nothing can give everything. Thank you for watching until the end. If this story touched your heart, let us know in the comments. We read every word. And if you'd like to hear more stories like this, another one is waiting for you on our channel.